Morning, it's Xavier and welcome to Bonsai for Breakfast, and this is on the menu today. I had one or two requests asking just how things are getting on with my kids' Cotoneaster projects. Now for those of you who haven't been with the channel that long, you won't know that way back in Easter in 2022 I challenged all four of my children to take 4 Cotoneaster cuttings grown in the bonsai retreat and try and turn them into credible bonsai, which, bearing in mind I'm still struggling to do that, I thought that was quite a challenge, and the video is up there of course. Anyway, let's have a look at the Cotoneasters I've got here, and then we're going to move on to a lovely little surprise from my daughter Kat. So we'll just recap. This is James's effort, and he's always had this weird thing we put loads of wire on. It's looking an absolute mess, but I still can't get him anywhere near doing something about it. But I do know I'm not allowed to touch it. This wire has now started biting in down here, so it's going to have to come off. And I think at some point this thing was actually a lot higher up, but either a bird sat on it or something. But either way, it's collapsed the whole structure. So we won't be seeing that one today. Then we've got this one. Now I'm pretty sure this is Tammy's, but even I'm losing track. Again, she's got married now. In fact, they took me out for a thank you dinner at a Chinese restaurant, and I got to have some Bonsai champagne. It was glorious, and needless to say, I have a bit of a heavy head right now. But rather than leaning down here, let's have a spin of this. This one, it's obviously we've got a real horizontal growth here. Goodness knows when she's going to get around to doing anything with it, but I do see potential for something in there, maybe in removing this big one here. But we're not going to be seeing this today. Again, I can't remember. Maybe this was Lexi's, or maybe this was Tammy's. I'll have to look back at the older video. This one's probably going to be the easiest one to be doing stuff with. Got some growth here, but all looking very, very healthy. And if I don't touch it, probably do better if I don't touch it actually. But this too we won't be looking at. In fact, the one we're going to be looking at is going to be Katarina's, and I'll be pushing over to her in just a moment. Before I do that, I'd just like to say thank you very much, in particular to Luigi, with certain numbers after his name, who gave me some advice regarding my Handy Azalea. And he talked about experience he's had, and apparently he had the same problem with his leaf and discolorations and all sorts of things like that, and he used a sequestered iron product monthly, and so I've ordered some of that along with, I think it's the sequestered iron and kelp. As soon as that gets there, I'm going to do a monthly application of that, and then at the beginning of the spring he also puts a sprinkling of Epsom salts on there, which is something I do. Now I also got some advice from Gail of GG Evergreen Bonsai, as a result of some advice that came to her from Kaz, who said good dose of potash at the end of summer. So I've also ordered some potash. And finally, there's another big thank you to a number of you who talked about deficiencies or problems perhaps if I'm using the hard water. And yes, yeah, I've got too many trees to use the water butts, so I do use the hard water. And the indication that came through from quite a number of you was quite potentially the pH level in my already acidic Kanuma based soil is getting so high that it's actually very, very difficult for the azalea itself to be able to take any uptake of all the nutrients or whatever it needs. And I'm certainly going to be taking all that advice. But do you know what? I thought I'd show you this, because you remember that I decided that they needed to come out of those smaller pots. In fact, the video's up there. The result on this and several of the other azaleas having a much bigger pot has been quite remarkable. Even I'm surprised by just how good it is. And let's get in close and have a look. The leaf has never been as vibrantly and as deeply green as this. This is now actually looking like a real potentially decent bonsai, but I'm going to let it keep growing out. 1 or 2 leaves have got some spots on them, but again, I'm also going to be getting the sequestered iron, applying it to these. But I've never had, well, not for many years, this sort of healthy growth. And in a bigger pot, this just looks like a completely different tree. So really, really positive and looking for the future for that azalea. Katarina has been badgering me non-stop for the last 3 weeks about this, her Cotoneaster, telling me all the things she wants to do to it. So let's see if we can drag her off her chair and get her to tell us what she wants to do with that. So tell me, what exactly do you want to do with this?
Well, we were talking the other day about the pruning and stuff, but what Dad didn't realise is that I want my tree to get really fat. So I want a really good, chunky, sturdy, big tree like your the old one.
The old one?
The really old one.
The really old one?
The one that's older than you.
The one that's older than me.
Okay, that is old.
Okay, well, while we're working out about
I don't know
that,
which one it is. But
it's probably coming up on the screen right now, to be fair.
Probably, yeah. You know what I mean, the big favourite one. Anyway, so I want it to have a really big trunk so that it's got that really old feel to it.
So, here's the question to everyone out there in bonsai land. How do I turn this little weeny Mame style Cotoneaster into a great big hunk of a chunk? Hunk of a chunk? Is that hunk of a trunk? And actually, if you've watched previous videos, you know the answer to that. It's all about nursery beds. Now, alas, Katarina doesn't want to wait that long, so she doesn't want to put it in a nursery bed. Okay, so we've decided that what you're really looking for is a pond basket, which I've put one in front of you just there.
Yes, you have. And it looks like a fez.
Looks like a fez.
Fezzes are cool.
I'm sure the doctor would like
the
that.
doctor.
The doctor,
Fez
yes.
cool.
Okay. Right,
Dirt
so
in my hair.
that's going to allow loads of root growth and everything like that. But firstly, we're going to need you to get the little one out of its plastic pot.
It looks so fragile.
It looks fragile.
Can I have some gloves?
Gloves.
I just had a new manicure. No, okay.
Do
Okay.
Right, do you want me to take it out
No,
of the
I
pot?
don't want you to take out the pot. It's my tree.
No.
What, I don't want to like. What if it breaks? Okay, it doesn't.
There we go.
Fair enough. Oh, I forgot there's a little green thing in. I just like break it apart.
Well, if you have a look beside you, there's a little stick. Right. You can carefully work around the edges, just gently tease it, yeah.
Okay.
Because we're not looking at doing any major root work, because we want all the roots to be there,
Yeah.
because we want this to feed and get bigger, so we don't really want to cut the roots.
So we're not raking it like we did when I first started.
Just spreading it out, because we want to try and get a nice...
declagifying it.
Declagifying it, yeah. So you continue to do that, and we'll come back and show the happy viewers how it looks. Look at that. That's the green mesh you put in there.
Yeah.
There's some nice roots underneath that.
Alright.
But anyway,
Do I just leave the mesh alone?
no, we want to take the mesh out of there, and we do want to sort of separate and get those roots apart.
I'm a little thing.
That's
It's like
colour
a
like this.
haircut.
Yeah, so you can probably cut those long roots there that you can see. There we go, and that would probably be about it. And then all you need to do is comb that out sort of gently with the stick so the roots are all separated.
Okay.
Now I
It's taking
hear,
me back to when we first did the trees, honestly.
yeah. Now I hear you asking that big question: is it safe to do this now, bearing in mind we're really past the repotting time?
Good question.
I know it's a good question.
Yeah, how did you read my mind like that?
Well, it's funny you should say that. Actually, with most trees, so long you're gentle and careful with the roots and you look after it afterwards, you can keep potting right through to the harshness of the summer sun.
Really?
Yeah.
Why are we putting it in a pond pot?
Because we want to get a lot more root growth, we want to get a lot more ventilation, circulation, all stuff like that, and pond baskets seem to give us that.
But didn't you say that pond baskets go in a pond?
Yeah, we haven't got a
Does it
pond.
not actually matter though? It's just called a pond basket.
It's just called a pond basket. Okay, well that's a cracking set of roots you've got there. What we do need to do, what we do need to do is make sure they're kept sprayed.
Kept thinking how I'd ever live without you by my side.
If you do it facing that way, then people can see what you're doing.
That was a
Bear on with
bullseye, by the way.
cameras.
So we're spraying the roots.
Yeah, you just keep the roots all sprayed and damp.
Moisturise me. Moisturise me.
Moisturise, yeah. Okay, now, before we put it in the pond basket, because we're not tying it down, we need to, if you just,
Yep.
you want to prune away some of the
Oh,
growth
yeah.
that you won't be needing.
Because you said it has to... Which ones do I use? These ones?
I'd
use the scissors?
probably find use the scissors that you've left there.
Okay. All about...
So again, we're looking, anything that's upwards, we don't want low down that's coming up or coming directly towards. and probably if you're looking at shortening off some of those lower ones.
I am. This one first. So I always end up pruning this one back. There's an upwards one here, so I'm going to cut it just after that one. And then this one's coming shorter, and again, because we're all going for upward growth, I'm looking for the upward buds. Oh, hold it, there's actually one back here that's going up.
Okay.
Let's take
Now
it.
that's quite a thicker branch, so you might want to use that. Potentially I'd take it all the way back
Just
to that.
thinking back to that junction there.
There you go.
No, I don't want to get rid of this one too.
Okay, is that because it's coming towards you?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, in the end, what you really want to do is get all that growth going upwards to try and feed the roots.
Yep. Do I have to put that weird gross stuff on the ends of these where you make cuts?
No. Cotoneaster are fine when you're doing wound healing, which is what you're talking about.
And this one's going to grow forward as well, so I'll get rid of that one.
Okay.
Cotoneasters are fine with wound healing, sorry.
Yeah. Okay, well, we've done a bit of hacking and chopping, so what have you got left? Just show us what's left.
Well, you'll see the before and after. This is what's left. Wait, you need the blue screen, don't you?
Yeah.
So, it's looking a bit like an ood.
Looking like an ood.
Yeah. Wait, does this mean I'm a plant mum now?
Yeah, you're a plant mum now,
Happy
yeah.
Mother's Day.
Okay, so all we're going to
No,
do
not
now
really.
is you've pushed the roots out. So
Now we've got to put them in the plot.
we've got some basic
What?
zeolite and pumice in the base of the pond basket.
Tasty.
All you need to do is lay it down on that, and then spread the roots out a little bit.
They're pretty spread.
Yeah,
I kind of put them down spread already.
yeah, and the ones behind, you want to try and get them spread out so that it so we get a 360-degree root spread on it.
Okay, hold up.
Okay. All you need to do then is just start putting some soil in there. And that'll fair enough, and then just dig it all in like that.
Oh, it's like after I give it a prune.
Yeah.
Ah.
Okay, and then really all we're going to do is leave it. Put a couple of rocks. You see some rocks behind you on the bench there. No. You want something that's going to put a weight on it, not a...
You said anyway.
So, like something like that. No, that. And
I
that.
know, I can pick a rock.
Oh, well, stop clicking the seat.
It's not my fault the seat's broken. I like this one. It looks like a little mountain.
Yeah, okay. And that's just to stop all our very curious birds. It's too big. What we'll do... There you go.
My Cotoneaster.
Cotoneaster.
Cotoneaster?
Cotton egg.
Cotoneaster.
And what do we definitely have to do to it once we've done this?
Water it.
Water it, yep. So we'll get the hose on that. Brilliant.
Preferably overnight.
Okay.
Free flow tap running.
Alright, well, there you go then. So now we just need to get 3 more done. Okay, well that was an adventure in itself, and Katarina's just about to go away and water that. And as I say, I do Tammy's tree, but she and Rod are on holiday in Crete. I think they call it honeymoon or something. I did tell her to keep me updated, but yeah, probably not a great idea. Anyway, that's Katarina's done. We're going to be leaving this for probably a year, maybe 2 years, and just letting all the energy going upwards, because upwards will give us trunk thickening, which is what Katarina is really looking out for. Well, there we go. So we've had an update on what Kat's done with her Cotoneaster. Obviously, I think that's going to take a good few years to get that sort of thick trunk growth she's looking for. Wind's picking up. So if you like that, please, a big thumbs up for Kat on her efforts there. Loads of funny faces. But why have I got this Escalonia here? Well, again, I've had some requests asking me to look at this. And I've looked at it. And there's probably enough there for next week's Bonsai for Breakfast. So if that's going to interest you and you want to see what goes on with this Escalonia, then please make sure next Tuesday at 7:30 in the morning, join me with your favourite breakfast tipple, and hey, let's enjoy a bit of bonsai too. So again, anyone else who's got any suggestions for stuff they want to see, please whack it down in the comments, because that's where it's going to happen. And again, for those of you who know nothing about the database, please have a look in the description. I'm still getting people coming through asking for copies of my Bonsai App stroke database. And a big thank you to Arta, who sent a lovely donation and said that his database is working absolutely brilliantly. But anyway, I'm blabbing on. This is supposed to be under 10 minutes. Yeah, in my dreams. So enjoy your bonsai, have a great weekend, happy bonsai, and God bless. Cheers.